I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost.
Anybody out there know Candy Cane?
Hey, Russell. This is Black Sheep. Go to 23.
Do you know where I can find Candy Cane?
So let me the fucking house!
Josh, where's the campsite? It's coming up just ahead over there.
Are you scared of the dark?
Absolutely. Yeah. But I'm with my friends. I'm okay.
Field of Geeks presents
The Super Unknown.
Hello and welcome to the Super Unknown. I'm Josh.
I'm Juan.
And I was drinking a beer. Sorry.
Hi, I was drinking a beer. How are you?
Sorry, I had my mouth full of beer.
That's okay.
Like, oh no.
I waited for that, and then I was like, let's go.
Like a waitress.
Let's go.
Sneaking up on you.
What's your name?
Drinking a beer. Hello.
When you go to Starbucks next time, that's what you need to do.
Hello, my name's Drinking a Beer.
I wonder if there's things they just won't do, you know? Like, this is my name. Like, no, dude, I'm not doing that. Sorry. I'm not going to scream that out there. Who knows? But yeah, we're back. We've been away for a while. Apologies. But, hey, great time to come back. It's the fall.
Spooky season?
Yes, absolutely. And got a great topic for you today. We're going to discuss, thanks to Juan, bringing it. It's all around fear. So, with that, take it away, Juan.
Holy shit.
So
Let's explore. We lost Dave already. Shit. Cut.
I had some ideas about like topics, and this is the topic we decided on: the psychology of fear. Okay?
Like it. Yeah.
The psychological background of the understanding of fear.
Sure.
How it works. Because it's October.
Yep.
Halloween's around the corner. So I felt this topic would fit well. People are facing fear in some way or somehow.
Always.
So I got some background information that I'm going to read off to you guys, and then from there we'll dive a little deeper, and then I'll give you some questions.
Sweet. It was a quiz. Pop quiz, hot shot.
All right. The psychology of fear. Fear is a fundamental human emotion rooted in our evolutionary biology as a survival mechanism. It triggers the flight response, preparing us to react to threats. In contemporary society, fear manifests in various forms, from phobias to anxieties about the unknown, and has been a source of fascination in literature and film. Studies suggest people are drawn to fear-inducing media because it provides a safe environment to explore intense emotions and situations. Engaging with fear can create feelings of exhilaration, relief, and catharsis, which may explain the popularity of horror movies and thrillers. That's basically the psychology of fear in a nutshell. Basically, it goes into like ideas of what I was looking into, the studies, the references. There's the role of fear in storytelling. And,
Nice.
And research by Dr. Stephen M. Goldstein highlights how fear influences narrative engagement and emotional responses, leading to heightened arousal and involvement in the story. The paradox of horror. A study published by Psychology Today discusses how viewers enjoy fear in media despite its unpleasantness, pointing to a psychological phenomenon known as benign mechanism, where people seek out fear in a controlled setting. Cognitive dissonance. Research indicates that horror films can create cognitive dissonance, allowing viewers to confront fears while enjoying the thrill of not being in actual danger. The influence of horror tropes. A study on horror tropes shows that common themes such as the final girl or the creepy kid reflect social fears and anxieties, often rooted in gender norms and childhood fears. So I have like 15 questions. I don't think we're gonna do them all.
No, because once we get to talking,
Yeah, it's
probably two.
Too many questions. I don't think we're gonna do all of them. We might.
You never know. I didn't study, so shit.
I've skipped the whole semester up to this point. That's my reoccurring fear. I show up at class, I'm like, I haven't been here all year. And then I'll show up to class, and I'm like, oh, it'll be a test. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't study. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then, or it's like there's an assignment due, and I'm like, I haven't been. I didn't. And
You're like, DoorDash, A+ test now.
And then I'll wake up, and then I'm like, oh, I'm just a middle-aged old man. And I'm like, oh, thank God.
And then you wake up again. No.
You late for class.
A dream within a dream. Yes.
Too lazy for that.
Yeah, you just wake up every day. It's a dream. It's a dream.
Lazy the dream. Whatever, I'm just like slip into unconsciousness.
The road's out ahead. It's just a dream. Go back to sleep.
Let's figure it out. Question 1. What is the evolutionary purpose of fear? And how has it shaped human behavior over time?
Yeah, survival.
Yeah.
How we adapted from being in the caves. Food, how we eat, how we store food, especially.
Walking through the tall grass, you always fear that there's a tiger there, right? 999. That's too many nines. 999 times out of 1,000, there's no tiger. It only needs to be there once for your fears to be proven correct.
Well, it makes me wonder, like, how do we get our folklore? Of things like, okay, when you're at a village, I would assume, like, okay, to teach kids not to go too far, you'll tell the story of, like, a skinwalker or whatever the heck they're saying is out there. Don't go out there at night.
You talking about the M. Night Shyamalan movie? Well, you remember that movie. That's what they did, right? What was it called?
Is that Apocalypse?
Knock at the Cabin?
No. This was Bryce Dallas Howard, Joaquin Phoenix. They were in the woods.
Oh, The Village?
Yes. Remember they made that creature, which that's what we all came to see, and it turned out to just be people in rabbit gear or whatever.
I've never been an M. Night Shyamalan fan. When everybody was freaking out about like,
Sixth Sense?
Yeah.
I love Sixth Sense, though.
I was like in the theater. I was like, bullshit. And I was like, if he was dead the whole time, how did he set that up meeting up with the mom? Because the kid comes home and he's sitting there with the mom.
Yeah.
How did that meeting get set up if he was dead and he's...
Was the mom dead?
Was there even a meeting, though? But was there even a meeting?
Well, what the hell's he doing there?
Well,
Just sitting there chatting with the mom. And obviously he didn't have a conversation, so he just walked into her house, sat on the couch, and then waited for the kid.
Well, they made it. Yeah, I think they explained it though. He willed things to be so he would believe in it or something.
No,
I don't know.
It's horseshit. It was a stupid.
Back to the village. No, it's fine.
That's why we were only.
It's fine. I know. I mean, this could be an M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan
shitting on party. Yeah. Like you said, you invent ways to scare people, to keep them in line.
I think folklore plays a part.
Yeah.
Well,
because like what a tiger can do in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
You ever seen it? You know what a gator can do or whatever. So I could see them building like folklore.
Well, I think it's easier. It's the easiest way to get people to do what you want them to do is to keep them scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why fear mongering is so popular in politics. right? You get people to vote for you because there's like, oh, there's a killer in the house, and I'm the only one here that can save you.
Yeah.
The one that makes sense.
You're like, oh my god.
Fear is it's helped us. It's pushed us to advance too with our technology, the way we live. So I mean, there's benefits of fear, even though, yeah, a lot of it's probably once in whatever chance is going to happen to you. You know, it's like my fear of flying, for instance. You know, like I'm always afraid I'll be the statistic when I get up there, and you know.
The percentages are in your favor, though.
Oh, I know.
We're gonna get you on one.
I know, but
This is gonna happen. We're gonna get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come with us to Vegas in March.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You won't even notice it. Next thing you know, eep. There's a video I'll send you. It's a video I used to do. I used to watch when but it was anxiety from other things.
Yeah.
But it like puts you in the seat next to the window, and you just feel the takeoff. It's wild. It's crazy. And next thing you know, you're like, it's just smooth.
Yeah.
I usually fall asleep before we take off, and then I land right before we land. I wake up and went, oh, what? And they're like, we are approaching our final destination. I'm like, hey!
Yeah.
Then it's a dream. No.
Why do you think people are drawn to horror movies or scary stories despite the fear they induce?
I don't know. I think maybe to keep themselves more relaxed if they're in an actual situation that mimics the movie. I don't know. But again, like you said, it's a controlled environment to watch a scary movie. So there's no stakes. In real life, though, if you've seen a lot of jump scares, I would think not a lot of things could maybe affect you, like spook you easily, maybe. It's good and bad, because it's like, yeah, I'm going to walk out in this alleyway with no light. Who cares? Yeah.
I think there's that also you kind of you get your adrenaline pumping, right?
Yeah.
Then and releases endorphins, which kind of makes you, which is weird because it does make you feel like, you know?
Yeah.
It's like when you're going on a roller coaster, right? It's just like,
Yeah.
You're like that dropping and like feeling of like that rush, and then you get off and you're like,
That uncertainty, and then like, this is fun.
Right. But
Like, oh shit, fun.
in a controlled environment that
Yeah.
if everything does go according to plan, nothing bad will happen.
Yes.
I think it increases paranoia potentially.
It depends.
Like if there's like like we say you got a killer, like a Freddy or a Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You're like checking behind the door when you walk in the next room. Who's that? I just heard a noise in the bushes late at night or something. I think it's could potentially be worse for you.
I think the only like kind of scary movie that's ever had any kind of lasting kind of impression on me was Jaws.
I get that.
Yep.
That's
Fuck
really-
yeah. I won't go in the ocean. I will not. Especially with the shark attacks and stuff.
It's just like that.
No
that,
fucking way.
I saw that as a child, and then I was like,
I won't even take a bath.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's just, there's scenes in it where you're just like, oh my god, that's horrific.
I guess I felt the same way about Christine.
But like
Stephen King's Christine.
But then, and then we
Maybe paranoid they sit in old cars. As a kid, I'm saying as a kid.
Or where someone hits your car, like, don't worry, it's gonna heal itself. The next morning, like,
It makes you nice
heal.
to your car, though. It makes you nice to your car. What I say about when we're outside.
Yeah.
I said, I love this guy. I don't talk bad about.
I was with my brother-in-law once in his
it
car.
just comes down the stairs and comes around the corner. Oh shit!
I was riding with my brother-in-law, and I knew he was getting a new car, and I brought it up while we're in his old car, and he's like, I don't want to really talk about that because
That's awesome.
it's like, oh, okay,
That's
gotcha.
Don't
Christine, yeah, man.
Don't talk it in front of the
Yeah, it'll just start going.
Well, it's not even that. It's just.
Or the accelerator gets stuck.
Like
for that poor kid.
50 song. Do 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 do. Oh, damn, somebody's about to die. Like.
Or the Jeepers Creepers when they play that old fucking song in that movie. Jeepers Creep. That old. Yeah. Oh God.
Those peepers.
Yeah, especially with the imagery, like.
They could have just cut it after that first movie, and I think it would have been fine.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's one of those that just needs to be one and
They're
done.
always trying to milk something.
They are, but yeah, I think there's two types of scary movie fans. There's ones who are so conditioned to it that it's more enjoyment just to see people get killed or how they get killed, and then there's the others who are more like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be careful not to do that or whatever. Or afterwards, it sticks with you, right? Like, Yeah, it's like you're talking about Jaws, yes, because that's like a real life thing. That sticks with me more, of course, than the fantastical, like Strangers, which especially when it says based on a true story. It's like, why did they bother these people? Because they were home. Holy shit.
Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, but statistically speaking, right? Even for people that live in places where there's sharks, we live in Iowa.
Yeah.
A relatively landlocked state.
Yeah.
And, sharks still bother me. But statistically speaking, around the globe, you're still more likely to be eaten by a pig.
Mm-hmm.
We live in Iowa. We are outnumbered by pigs. I mean, realistically, we should probably be concerned about pigs. But again, I didn't see...
Or mountain lions.
But I didn't see a pig eating someone when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That explains something.
I wasn't even scared of bears when I lived up in the Great White North.
Right. Because they were your neighbor. You're like, hey!
You're like, no, fuck it, because I never saw a bear eat
What's
a
up,
man when
Pooh?
I was a kid.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Wow, that makes... to this day, like, I was driving down...
And say, does your pets keep disappearing?
No, I was driving home.
There's bone trails.
Yeah,
like, what?
Goddamn, Ohio. It's supposed to... We're in Iowa, not Ohio. You would get it wrong.
I seriously was driving home late. This was within, like, the last year.
Yeah.
And down, like, Douglas, I believe, but, like, towards Marquee.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I just see this thing going... like, on all fours. And it just drives...
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep. Don't talk about it.
It might be a bobcat, or...
It was big.
Is bobcat the same as a mountain lion? We have one of them.
It was like my size.
The DNR denied it, but
Bobcats
people
are like-
saw them.
Bobcats
Like,
don't get as big as us.
yeah.
Yeah, like a mountain lion, you're probably like, like 120, 150 pounds.
Yeah. We have one of those,
Bobcat
and it's been proven.
Like a
Bobcat's like
Yeah.
a medium-sized dog.
Yeah.
It looked more like a crew, but I couldn't see it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just the way it.
But for a
Have
while...
the little tufts on the tops of their ears, like
Yeah.
little tufts here.
Oh, yeah,
Mountain
yeah.
lions are generally just kind of short, pointy ears.
Yeah.
But they're
I mean, Maine
They
Coon
got
cats
big
are popular
tail.
now,
They
too,
got,
so,
like,
but...
big fucking tail.
Yeah.
Like big, long.
Right.
I think bobcats just have like a tiny little one.
I mean, we have coyotes, too. I mean, we
But
have
see, that actually,
pretty much...
That
Coyotes
seems like
aren't
things
that
that
much
actually
of a-
make me as
Mutated
much
dog.
scared
Yeah.
as it is makes me like. It heightens my senses
Yeah.
because I'm like, okay, now when I'm parking my car, I'm like, because I'm like, yeah, I consider myself somewhat a tough guy.
Yeah.
I'm not beating. Well, I'm not beating a lion, a tiger. I mean,
Oh, my.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, mountain lions, they're a different story because they'll actually hunt you. Like if
I think I'm thinking of bobcats, and we have
yeah,
that
like-
for sure.
Well, they've had mountain lions here.
Have they? Okay. Okay, well then, shit.
I
But
just
like
thought some
up
guy
north,
threw
like
in a zoo or something. I was paranoid.
if they'll like up north, like
just
if
drop
you're
them
in
off.
the mountains walking around and they sense that you're injured or you're
Yeah.
easy prey, they'll just fucking follow you for hours, waiting for the chance to jump on you. You know, when I grew up, it was like you just kind of respected wildlife, and it was just like you see a bear,
Yeah.
you're like, oh fuck, there's a bear,
I'll go this
and
way.
then you
Yeah.
turn around and go the other way. Whereas like with a shark, I don't feel like there's that kind of mutual respect. Like I think you see a shark, you're like, fuck, there's a shark, but the shark's gonna come after you anyways.
Yeah.
It's not this like, dude, you stay over there, I stay over here,
nothing.
we're all cool. But like, I just don't think sharks give a shit. They're like, I'm gonna come mess you up regardless.
Yeah.
You're like, what? I'm minding my own business, right?
And I think it just happens so rapidly with like a shark. I think if they just grab your leg,
Dolphins?
dolphins beat their ass.
Dolphins are the ones. They'll fuck a shark up for no reason.
I think that's like actually kind of awesome.
When they come
Because
climbing
they poke them with
straight
the
up.
beak. And dolphins are like, you know, we're smarter than you guys, right? Like,
Have you seen their brains compared to ours?
they're yeah, I think they're next closest.
Well, they live a lot longer too, don't they?
Yeah, I think
most
they're
sea
close to
creatures
us.
do.
I think they're the next
Yeah.
closest being on the planet to us
For
in
example-
intelligence.
Crows are wicked smart too. So like they say, like your intellect is kind of is determined by your brain size compared to your the size of your brain compared to your actual body size. The animal with the largest brain to body size, crows.
Really?
Yeah, because crows will use tools, right?
They say that
Yeah.
birds are really smart. I remember hearing about this bird theory where it's like, okay, if you were to leave food out for certain birds, they would start to leave money there for
Yeah, they bring back
because
shiny
they
objects.
understand bartering, so they know that we use that. They'll find money somewhere,
crows.
and then if you leave them food, they're like, okay, fair trade.
I'm bringing you something back.
I'll bring you something
It's usually
that I know
shiny.
you want
Yeah.
for something that I want.
Right.
Well, it's funny about fear is, yeah, you have things that you know for the most part are consistent, you know, with shark attacks and all that. But then you have people like, I don't want to use the Tiger King, but you have these animal people who, I don't know, they can just channel like the animals and interact with them. And then, you know, I've also heard a lot of people say about sharks is, you
I
know,
think they just face them on a regular basis.
Excuse me.
yeah, I mean, and they just probably do a lot of research. Yeah,
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 you defeat fear is by facing it.
yeah.
So that's my belief on it. That's the
Yeah.
only way you can defeat it. You have to face it.
Right.
So like if you have fear of falling, you got to put your like that bungee cord on.
Right.
If you whatever it is, you just got to experience it for you to be like, okay, it wasn't what I thought it was.
Yeah.
All the horror stories I created in my head.
Maybe that's why some people like to watch horror movies. They
Yeah,
get
I
to
think they
confront
get it
their
out of their
fears.
way now. Yeah. Me, I don't really scare easy. It's more along the lines of I wasn't there to protect my niece.
Yeah, I think as you get older, your family comes into play. It's not really you, but it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, my kid's driving now. That's
Yeah.
scary, you know,
Yeah, it's that. It's like the fear of something happening to
of
me.
losing people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably my biggest fear if I
Yeah.
have a fear.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But like usually, anything that's like in a movie, it doesn't really scare me. The things that could scare me is something that's got to be practical, like a mountain lion loose in the neighborhood. Yeah, I'm a little freaked out. You know, like if there was, or stuff like that, or we know there's just a serial killer out there and I fit this description of what he wants, like a adult male or something.
Or just the threat. Like, you know, I remember like, I don't know, months ago, I was out and on my way home and I saw a bunch of cop cars. You have access to like scanners now, especially scanner squad groups on Facebook, and so they can like tell you exactly what's going on. Like this case, it was some guy ditched his car, and I think he had a gun. And of course, I get home and it's like, let's fucking lock shit down. You know, like it's scary. It's, you know, you don't know where they're at and what they're capable of. So it's like, yeah, it's totally. That's definitely a fear too. I mean, of course, there's some that'll shrug it off, and I think that's the hard part is, you know, if you get accustomed to facing your fears, that's great, but you should never turn off the possibilities of shit going wrong. You know, like you look at people who raised, you know, exotic animals, and then one day their guard's down more, right? So it's really tricky. Just like with, you know...
People don't fear it because
No.
the Tiger King you brought up, right?
Oh, yeah. That guy.
One of the
Shit.
chicks that worked there, her freaking arm got bit off. She was back at work the next week.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, like, no, don't do that.
They all ate expired food. I mean, talk about that fear.
She's like, it's fine. It was just doing the cat. It's just being a cat. I'm like,
You know, yeah, like tigers are one thing in that, but like chimps,
Oh, fuck.
yeah, because they'll go after your.
They'll rip your face.
fingers.
Yeah.
they'll
take your fingers, your toes. They'll take.
It's all strategy, right?
It's all-
They'll take your manhood.
It's everything you
faces.
use.
Yeah, they'll take your manhood,
and
too.
goons
Yeah.
that they go for.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And you, this won't make sense to you guys. And Spencer, you cannot beat one. Okay.
No.
He'll
No.
get it.
Dude,
He'll get
they've
it.
got like mad strength.
I don't think he
Yeah.
understands. I have a student
Right.
who asked me like, "Coach, you think you could take a chimp on?" I'm like a chimp this big would whoop my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's like, "That doesn't make any sense." I'm like, "No,
they're bone and muscle.
they're
That's all.
different." And I'm like, "If he grabbed your testicles, just one,
Oh,
you're done."
oh.
And I had to give him that example because
Yeah.
I don't think he understood. I had to make it make sense to him. I'm like, I don't think you comprehend. I was like, a silverback? Ugh,
That's how you take out a dude.
silverback could just thump you. That's it. Your
No.
chest is caved in.
Yeah, I'd much prefer going against a gorilla, like a full-grown, like male gorilla,
I'll
than a
take
chimp.
a chimp. I'm running 3. I'm like, The chimp is.
There's no way you're coming away from any of that, but like,
Yeah.
you know, you get body slammed by a gorilla and you're pretty well just game
these guys
over.
are
Whereas it's
strong.
like,
Oh, you
chimps are
choose it
going-
because it's a quick death, basically.
because
Okay.
chimps are going for the
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going.
genitals and
they're gonna
face,
mutilate you.
and you can take damage to your face and genitals and still be alive.
Yeah.
You're not coming back from a silver.
But you'll just be screaming all the time.
Right.
"Ah!"
face
That brings fear into me. I'm like, oh, I'm here with a silverback. Yeah.
yeah, you're like,
You're kind of like, that's not. But one badass video I've seen one badass video. It's not a silverback. This guy, I think he was overseas or something. He was in a zoo. Somehow he ended up in the lion's pit. But
I'd be like, throw me a gun.
he was drunk off his ass, and so he stood up to the lion. Like I have to find the video. I will find it.
Yeah, this sounds familiar.
He stood
Yeah.
up to the lion. He was like, "Stop!" Like, ugh. And the lion kind of backed off because
You want a bear?
he ain't got no fear. He had no fear. Like, and then all the noise or something. Like he's chastising the lion, and the lion didn't kill him.
I guess the guy was also pissing everywhere, marking his territory.
He's like, because the lion's probably like, this guy here.
yeah, it's just.
Like, the lion's probably like, just like, really?
Do you think if you could like yell underwater, do you think the same would work for like sharks? Like if you could like,
I don't think sharks are that.
just make yourself look really big and yell at them, and then be like, "Whoa, this
sharks
guy's
are just
nuts!"
Really primal. I don't think they.
Nah, they just.
I think them and gators are kind of just primal. They don't really have food. That's it. They don't really
Murder.
There's no compassion.
Yeah.
Whereas the dolphin would show compassion. Lions have emotion. You know, most cats have some form of emotion. Sharks don't hit me as any kind of.
Well, they say you can
Their
like
eyes.
They're
They
pure
just
blue.
like. They
They're
just look.
black eyes.
They just look dead.
Yeah.
They don't. They're just like, ooh, food. Bite, chew.
People say you can punch them, and that helps you.
Yeah,
I
if
guess.
you punch them in the nose,
Yeah.
supposedly.
How fast? How hard can you punch something underwater?
I think it's annoying to it, but I think if you hit the top of it and just punch it in right there in the nose, it'll chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different.
Well, so like
Probably for 'em.
growing up in Hawaii, they always they taught us in school what to do if you're being attacked by different sea animals, and it was like jab it in the eyes.
Oh yeah.
Aim for the gills. And
Three
I'm like,
Stooges it.
But I was just
Boink.
like, jabbing anything in the eyes is
Yeah.
really should be the go-to of any animal attacking you, right? Again, like a chimp. If a
Can you
chimp
get
came
to
at you
the
and you just like "Ah," and you like poked your thumbs in at the chimp's eyes, that would be probably work too.
Yeah, I think you're screwed.
That's like.
Yeah, they got
That
long arms.
reminds
They
me-
get you.
I just think like
That reminds me of the first guy, Richie Sherlock Holmes, when he's fighting in that bar, and he's slowing it down. What he's gonna do? So I think first he throws the rag, takes away that sense, and then he hits his ears, takes away that sense, and so he's just kind of like all over the place. But yeah, it's kind of like go through all the chimp probably knows what. Yeah, like I'm gonna grab this guy's dick and rip it off. He's gonna pretty much give up
Your gun. Fine.
because he's gonna be too busy screaming in agony.
And Spencer, I want you to understand how effortless this will be. It's just one little quick
What?
swipe.
Wait. What if Spencer is fighting the chimp and it doesn't pull? It just goes.
Oh,
And he looks at him and they make eye contact
that's a
and he
nice
goes.
gesture.
Oh, this one wants to party.
Yeah.
That was a nice gesture, But I think now we're talking Diddy. So
Oh no!
Brought to you by
Diddy
Lube.
party.
don't resist against the chimp. Just
That chimp's diddying your.
he's letting you off easy. Sorry.
Question 3.
Question 3.
I had to throw this in about
How much baby oil is too much baby oil?
Hey man, my stocks have gone way up.
You have a garage just for it, like click.
Like damn, Diddy.
No Diddy? No doubt.
You know they fill the race cars up with that giant tank. That's
yeah.
what their baby oil
Well,
is. Yeah.
more baby oil, more problems.
But I think if you
Slide right into them, don't you?
just the last thing I like to bleep on the animals. Last thing I'm gonna say.
Walk with the animals. Talk
So
with
one
the
of the, I had to share this story because I've only said this once to anybody. So kids are cruel. When I was like
Yes.
7 years old,
Yep. They are. They're
The
terrible.
kid that lived next door to us, he's kind of just a booger. He's just annoying.
Yeah.
I don't even know why we hung out with him, but he just was that sneaky kid. So he had like 2 dogs that were mutts. Not terribly large, but not super small either. So basically, he was like, Juan, come over. I'm like, they're dogs. He's like, just don't hop the fence. My dog's not gonna do it. Hop the fence, Juan, blah, blah, blah. And then I hopped the fence, and the little dog just started biting at my butt.
Oh, God.
It didn't, like, cause any blood, but it hurt.
Yeah.
You know? And then I hop by him, he's like, ha, I got you. Right? So, there was a kid in the neighborhood that was a little, you know,
A low IQ person.
yeah. You got a forest. Kind of
He's probably a congressman now.
very possible.
His name's Ted Cruz.
This kid, because the rest, you know, like we're watching. I didn't know how to stand up for another kid at the time yet. This kid did the most baller thing I've ever seen, right? So he was like, "Come on, man, jump over the fence." And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Jump over the fence, come on, let's play." And then he's like, "Dogs, you got the dogs." And he's like, "No, they won't touch it." So he jumps over the fence, and the dog bit him, and you heard him go, "Ah!" And so he stops and bites the dog on the back and just goes, "Arr!" Like, and you hear the dog go, "Arr, arr!" Like, it was the most gangster thing I've ever seen in real time. I was like,
He's a full-on cannibal.
yes, that's how you do it. That dog never bit anyone else again.
Well,
I mean,
that's how they learn.
he bit the back of that dog. You saw the bite marks. Dog bit him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fair. Don't
I
bite
mean,
dogs. Don't have dogs bite you. But,
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing, right?
The more you know.
Animal attacks you, it's just like if somebody else attacks you. It's game on.
You got to take. Well, I'm just saying.
Like, I
think
love
get that.
animals, but if a dog bites me,
Yeah.
No, you just go, time out. Time
yeah, fuck that. I will
You need to slow down, buddy.
Yeah, there's 2 things. Like
Let's talk about this.
Don't hit kids, don't hit animals. If a kid or a dog, an animal bites me, I will uppercut either of them.
Judo. Chop.
It'll be a fatality.
Catch that.
Round 2.
I said no.
No means no. But the point of the reason I tell that story is because I do think that animals have this kind of unspoken respect, give or take sharks.
Yeah.
But they get like, okay, I'm the top. They usually say when you have like a strong big dog that's a male,
Yeah.
he will eventually challenge you. He will challenge you. You cannot back down from him. Otherwise, it's no point. Once you stand up to him, like stop. You're not gonna do that.
You have to give him the
And you got to give him that energy back at him.
Bane Brack Baker.
Yeah.
You're like, I am
This
the
dog's
king.
broken.
Take it back.
Take it back.
Give me another.
Yes. How do you think fear affects our decision-making processes in real life situations? Can you share an example?
I am a very fearful person, you know, not, I mean, to a certain extent, I try not to be, but, you know, I'm always cautious, and I know fear also goes back to, like, you know, things that happened to you in the past, you know, you don't want that to happen again, so your guard's up more.
In most, like, kind of belief systems, there's never just the carrot, right? There's always the carrot or the stick. And there's fewer people that will do something because they think they're going to get a carrot, but there's far more people that will do it because they don't want to get hit with the stick.
No, yeah, the stick.
You
So
know, like
you
it's
see that
like
discipline.
well, it's a lot of, you know, maintaining control through consequence, right? Like a negative consequence. Like the American Indians, there's a tribe, it's kind of more the central region. They had the belief of the Wendigo, and it was a story that they used to tell to say that if you resort to cannibalism, regardless of your situation, like you're hungry and you're going to die, don't eat your other tribesmen, because then you'll turn into this Wendigo, which is just this horrific beast that wanders around in the
What
woods.
if you eat somebody from a different tribe?
I don't know, that was probably okay. But it wasn't just good enough to say, look, guys, I know you're hungry, but just don't eat each other, okay? Like, it's bad. It's not a good look.
It's interesting.
Right?
To think
But
about
it was
that.
just like, you couldn't just say, please don't.
I'm just staring at your ribs all day.
Yeah, you're like,
You think I'm checking you out, but I am checking you out.
It's just like, so that's
like-
it's not good enough to just, say nicely, don't do that.
Well, yeah.
But it had to be,
Don't
there
lift that. Don't lift that.
Right,
You put
there
on
had
too
to
much
be
muscle, bro.
some kind of like
It's way too much muscle.
horrific alternative to if you did do it, right? So it's
Here,
just
have
like,
my bread.
so it's like, it's not enough that, like,
Well, and what about like urban legends? Like, if you guys see a car at night with no lights on, do you flash that car? Do you have any fear of doing that? Because I'm sure you've heard that in some place someone did that and the person like turned around and followed them and shot them.
and then murdered him.
Huh? Yeah.
Murdered.
Sure.
I'm flashing.
Yeah.
But I'm the weirdo, man. I'm the guy who's like, I want all the smoke. I'm stupid like that.
I don't know. My the car automatically turns the brights on and off depending on if the other person
I think
has.
it's a nice gesture.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, my lights are off. Okay. There you go. You're welcome.
Yeah.
But
Oh, you want to follow me? Well, I'm going to Quick Star. Maybe we can get some food together.
Want a cinnamon roll?
yeah, just pull in somewhere public
Yeah.
and be like, hey, what's going on? You're the guy with the lights off.
Yeah. I think they'll be like, oh, he's not a chick. I'm sorry. I think like that.
And then you end up getting like
That's when Juan gets scared.
You end up getting tied to
I thought you were a girl. Ah!
yeah.
tied to two separate semis, and then they're like falling
Oh,
apart.
fuck.
And you're like,
Spider-Man.
You're just like, I shouldn't have flashed
You're
him.
not gonna break me.
Furiosa.
But I do want to interject. I think that's kind of our dynamic, which I think helps us as a group. You are the guy who's a little bit more cautious, Josh.
Mhm.
I'm the guy who's like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. And Dave's like, hey, they got snacks here. Like, he's just like,
Yeah.
Carelessly optimistic.
like, I can see you being just like, oh, we'll go. It's like, well,
He's a dude in
any
the.
snacks? You
he's
gonna
a-
scare people, but you gotta bring any snacks.
He's a guy in the horror movie that finds a snack machine. He
Yeah.
drops a quarter, looks or bends down, and then the axe goes, whew, and he gets up and goes, oh, and just nothing happens to him.
Bingo.
Meanwhile, that axe continues and hits me because I'm standing next to him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel like you could be the final girl.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah.
Because you're more conscious of it.
Yeah.
You're like, you
Get
probably-
away from her,
you'd
you
probably be
bitch.
screaming at me, be like, you dumb bitch, don't run upstairs, run outside. And I'd be like,
I'm the
oh.
guy that they felt died early, but then I show up at the end of the movie and like, he actually did. I was holding on to the cliff.
You got stabbed.
And I-
You're like, oh shit.
and
You're
I'm
like,
like
oh, they
this, and I'm
stabbed
like-
one.
You're like end of watch.
Where is he? I'll get him now.
Yeah, or like he's about to kill Josh.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, ah! And you're like, Juan, you're alive.
That's what happens when you save lives.
Yeah, you get stabbed and then you shoot the guy before he kills Josh.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
There for you, Josh.
I'd give you,
Thanks.
I'd give you final girl credit.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Doubt that's true, though, but I think I'd be the first victim, probably.
I mean, yeah, I feel like I feel you'd be.
girl because you can't be the creepy child.
I mean, you very much have like Sidney Prescott vibes from the first one right now.
Yeah.
But I think after somebody tries to kill you a couple of times, I think you'd be like, "Ugh, I'm so tired of this bullshit.
You stand up and then you're like,
And then you start like hitting him. Schroeder.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Laurie Schroeder. though.
Strodes.
Yeah.
Isn't it Strodes? Yeah.
Yeah, Laurie Strodes.
Yeah.
When in the hospital.
Yeah.
Eventually, got to stand up. You stand up. I do believe I can kill this son of a gun.
Yeah.
And it's done.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Hello. Michael Myers dies tonight.
Again.
Yeah.
How do horror movies use sound and visual cues to enhance the feeling of fear? What specific techniques are most effective?
Well, I would say, like, even, like, older scary films, I think they, probably because they didn't have the budget to do, like, better effects or whatnot. But I think the original House on Haunted Hill just relied on a lot of sound. Like they would just like peer over to a wall or something. Yeah, or like a doorknob moving slowly. Like that's like really good horror. The stuff that is in your head amplifies it versus
some price type stuff.
Yeah, or just like something you don't need a visual aid for. Like it's more haunting, or like for instance, every time you're expecting that jump scare to happen, the minute they open a mirror, right, and then they go to shut it, you're like right there. And nothing happens, but you're like, shit, right there.
Close the fridge door.
Yeah, or walking in the dark,
and
right?
Someone's standing there, and you're like,
yeah.
It's like the other guy in the house.
Yeah.
He suspects the killer, but he's not really the killer. He's just, just creepy just because he's creepy.
Yeah. Example though, like the Blair Witch Project. A lot of there's people are divided on that. I think it's effective because I think your mind screws you up more than what you see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Their imagination is always worse.
Yes, exactly, and I think that's more effective. It's the unknown.
The mystery idea of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you seen the Bird Box?
I have not, but I've heard about it.
Within that concept of that movie, you don't get a clear cut visual of the enemy.
Yeah.
So like it allows your brain to run wild and like what's happening. I think Hitchcock was a master of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like he allowed you to just kind of create it yourself. Like what happened there? Did that really happen? Did that not happen?
But even just some of the like camera angles were just
Hitchcock was way ahead of this.
Oh man, like Psycho.
I'm a Hitchcock fan.
Mm-hmm.
Psycho, like the one scene where the detective's coming up the stairs and they've got this kind of bird's eye view of then Norman comes out like this and runs around the banister and like,
oh fuck, that's scary.
Like,
I remember that.
like,
yeah.
That was like way ahead of
Yeah.
its time.
Yeah.
Like, gee, when did they make that? Like when they just
Spoiler, I mean it's an old movie, but the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I don't know if you remember, I think
The original one?
Yes.
the sound of the camera.
Well, maybe I just remember them kind of like in a field or something, and then they're like, oh, nothing scary's happening, and all of a sudden, boom, like and it's like, holy shit, like out of nowhere, it's like it's calm, it's totally calm, it's the worst kind because it's like you don't anticipate it. They're just talking and all that stuff, and all of a sudden there's an interruption, and it's
I totally forgot about
terrifying.
But there's a sound in that movie.
Yeah, sounds
that messed me up.
Yeah,
and it's the most subtle sound possible.
Something like that, or no?
The scene where he's in like the barn or whatever, and he takes the person, he puts them on the hook.
Oh,
the sound of that hook going into this. Yeah, winning.
Yeah.
Like as for like, it's not even it's beyond fear. It's something else. It's just like
I mean that's got to say a lot for like the sound engineers on movies, right?
Yeah, it's just like amplifying that particular sound where. Like you. Yeah,
and it could be like just a spoon going into spaghetti. That's what's funny, like how they get their sounds. Like it's so effective.
It was. Yeah, that scene right there.
Because I think the more you see of something in film, you become like a kind of a critic of it. Like it's really got to be good for you to like really get something out of it. But I think sound is always, especially if you're just hearing it, is always the most effective, perhaps.
What impact do you think social media and technology have on our collective fears today?
100%. Not 100%, but it's up there. You hear so much shit now. I mean, before it was before social media, it was media in general. Like all these kooks coming at you, like holy shit, like this is happening. Do you know this is happening? You know this is going on? It's like, what?
Well, urban legends weren't easily spread.
Yeah. Right. Conspiracy theories weren't either. You have to like read shit.
But they would and if they did, it was like the fringe. Right, but now it's just so easy to say just anything, scream anything out there, and then people are like,
especially with fan art or AI art, they can generate like things
any image they want, give or take.
Yeah, did you see this person last night? Like what?
I think it actually is a numbing agent, in my opinion. I think it could potentially be a numbing agent. Like
If you see so much, you're like,
You're just like
it's
overwhelmed
just
with it. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, we got space aliens at the White House. Good for us.
yeah,
It's like, yeah, there's a killer. Well, there's a killer every other day. It's like,
Yeah.
you get so numb
yeah,
to it
yeah,
that it's kind of just like you don't know how to decipher what's real and what's fake,
yeah.
because maybe something there is real, but we don't know. Like, that's because I'm in that phase. Like, I'm just like,
The more you're removed from it, though, like for instance, I was talking about the scanner group we follow. Like, if someone said this person's like, by my house, basically, that won't numb me. That'll like, holy fuck, I don't know.
well, heighten your senses and not get
Right. But the more you're removed from it, the threat.
Dude, I'd be here to save you.
Oh, I hope so.
got you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of guy is like, oh, you came in my house, and I'm just like, and I got all the knives laid out for you, and
They have our names on it. Like, what?
Like, well, I'm not going to kill you, so don't worry.
We're gonna have steak.
But
Yeah. See. Yeah.
you're going to experience.
Put your guard down.
You're
the
experience
steak.
extreme pain. Just so you know, I'm the guy. Like, they have these videos on YouTube, and I don't know if this is. I'm not that. I'm just teasing a little bit, but they have these like videos about like astrology and stuff. And they're like, this is what happens. They had this one where it was like how each sign deals with a serial killer loose in the forest. Like, this is what Aries would do, and they
Yeah.
like stand up to him, and then they get stabbed in the process. This is what a Capricorn would do. They would strategically try to find a way out of this is what,
Yeah.
and like they went through it and blah blah blah, and then they go, oh, and you Pisces, you're the killer. I'm like, well,
Somebody's got to be.
I'm like at the end, I'm like, why are you skipping me? Like, I'm saying
Yeah.
the whole time, I'm like, why are you skipping me? And I'm like, and I'm watching, I'm like, well, yeah,
that probably checks out.
Yeah, that kind of fits.
The social media basically like pushes you to like, as well as anything you watch or listen to on TV, to do your own research. Like, don't always take it at face value, because
It's exhausting.
it is. But that's our problem as society.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
a dummy agent. Where it's like, okay, the fact that before the internet, because my dad used to have like books, like,
Yeah, you had to do the work.
books,
Yeah.
and they'd be like all these conspiracy theory books
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So we're saying like before '95,
Yeah.
and like I would read a little bit of it here and there, and be like, this is happening with the government, blah blah blah. And so they're like, wow, like this is crazy.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, sure. Are you gonna lower our taxes? Like, that's it's like,
Yeah.
carry on, make my
Yeah.
my experience of life a little bit better. And that's what I think about social media with
Yeah.
like any of this fear stuff, and so much is exposed. It takes a great writer to make a good horror movie in this era, because everything's so exposed. There's nothing new, so you have to be like the person who writes the next Matrix. You got to be the person who writes the first. Like, to me, Saw 1 is genius. I love it. I love it. I love it to death, because Jigsaw's ultimate deal is, I'm dying from cancer. I'm going to reinstill your purpose for life. You try to take yourself out, and now I'm going to help you. Since you don't want to live, I want to live. Since you don't want to live, I'm going to make it easier for you. How bad do you want to live? He's like basically challenging you. That's smart. Like, I don't ask for a horror movie.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
social media just makes us so numb.
Well, I think even like text messaging does too. I mean, to expand that a little bit, because it's like, in the end, everyone kind of has their own ideas of maybe this person meant this or whatever, but until you actually maybe talk to them, that's when either the fear is realized or it's not, or it's just, put out.
Can I ask you a question on that?
Sure.
And I don't want to necessarily go there, but do you feel that text message wise, your experience with men and women are different?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because I think guys generally will take it as is, and like I've literally said, for example, a woman could text me and she'll say, "Hey, do you want to go here?" And I'll be like, "No." Like I'm saying it to you.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, you don't have to yell." And I'm like,
Oh, because you do all caps or something like
"No,
that.
I just,
oh.
no."
Yeah. 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 I know. That's what's bad about
There's
that.
there's no emotion there. It's just no.
Could you stop screaming at me right now?
yes. The classic. I was like, oh, okay.
You were raising your voice, sir.
I was. Noted.
Feel intimidated.
I did not know I was doing these things.
Period. Enter your friend Dave.
Because I
Comment.
never get that with the guy. I've never, with any of my guy friends, I've never had an issue. So I'm asking because you do have 3 daughters and you have a wife. Your experience may be a little different.
Well, especially with kids, because they're all about the text communication, and they're all like putting a lot of effort into, oh, what's this mean? Whatever. I don't know what they meant there. I'm like, just call them. Or if they're going back and forth, like, call them.
That makes too much sense.
I know, right?
No.
But like, if I think, I don't know, if I feel there's,
You just check your phone.
Hey, there's a message.
yo,
what? I'm sorry.
Now you've experienced that
I am so
from
sorry.
a veiled.
Do you need comfort? Are you okay?
Well, Josh might need a new couch.
oh shit. On that note,
He messaged me and he goes, "Juan, you're screaming at me."
Scary.
Scared me. Oh, I thought I was screaming at first glance. I'm sorry. Do you need a hug, Josh?
Yeah.
Come on with a hug.
a virtual hug
Yeah, there it is. It's with care.
emoji.
There you go. Now check your text.
Yes,
Now you're screaming.
I was here. I'm sorry.
You were there, and then you took it
And
there.
I took it here, and I need to come back here.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, if it's amongst guys, like, I mean, from my experience, like, if I feel I've, went too far with something, I'm like the first one to be like, are we cool? Whatever. But yeah, it's like usually after a while, after you talk to someone for so long, you get like you didn't offend them, or it won't. What you say is not gonna be taken the wrong way. And if it is, then you just deal with it. And I think best way to do is conversation. Yeah.
But the queen of them all is my mother. My mother, Mom, I love you. Just so you know. She'll be like, I am yelling sometimes. I didn't know this. And she'll message me and she'll be like, hey, can you text your brother to have him call me? And my first thought is, well, I know your phone works, Mom, because you're
Oh yeah.
reaching out to me.
Yeah.
So why is it you just can't do
Yeah. Why do I have to?
Why didn't you text my brother?
Because it's hard.
And I'm like, Mom,
Yeah.
Respectfully decline.
Mom, why can't you do it? Well, just do it, please. I'm like,
It took more effort than text.
my brain is like my processing unit is like I don't know where to go with this one. I don't know how this works. Like,
Yeah.
it's zero sense here. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I get it. Text messaging, Josh,
Yeah.
I could talk about that for days.
Well, until you know someone, especially if you've had conversations with someone, then I think it's easy to be like, accept the text as it is. You don't have any fears like, oh shit, did I piss them off or whatever. I think you just kind of know each other after a while, have your own little rhythm, and Yeah. So, but yeah, it's
Well, even I think even with my guy friends, if I felt there was some potential tension
yeah,
coming from them, it's a simple text. You go, "You mad, bro?"
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Right.
Maybe you should have
Right,
known the answer to
and
that.
Like,
I
stop-
find out really fast. And
Stop strategizing with your bulletin board of like connections. And it's like, dude, fucking text him or call him
Are you mad, bro?
right now. Just
Yeah,
call him
pissed
out.
off. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
you
a
can say
little.
it to. I can say to my mom, "Are you upset?" No, I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your brother's just gonna be who he is, which means she's really pissed.
Yeah.
And like, and I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
So you're talking through me to talk to him.
Yes. Right.
How did I get to know that?
Well,
Well, I mean,
just remember this one phrase. The sun's getting real low there, big guy.
Yeah, sun's getting low. I actually say that quite often. That's the jujitsu guy in me.
Yeah.
Kind of an a-hole.
Yeah, well, you know, when Josh like
You get him-
flies off the handle.
I get him in a like little choking situation.
go to sleep.
And you start seeing him squirm. And they get so mad at coach.
Hush, little baby.
Yeah, they
Speaking
hate me when I talk trash, and I'm like, I can't help it. It's just the way I am. I can't help it. But if you don't like it, do something about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. Well, what have
If
we
you
learned?
can fight a chimp, you can fight a one.
There, that's what we learned today, right?
Fight one. Do you like your testicles? Do you want to keep them?
So speaking of the sun going down there,
Yeah, it's
the
time to-
fire's coming down.
Yes, it is. It is.
Do you wanna keep
Yes, please.
I think, Franklin Roosevelt said it best. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. So
And chimps.
Silverbacks especially.
we did not solve fear on this show, but we did talk about it. So,
Well,
And,
I mean, I think you just...
not that we were going to solve it, but yeah, it's one of those mysteries of life. Understood. But,
is just trying to talk his way out of getting on a plane.
yeah,
It's going to happen.
it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna open the emergency door as we land,
okay.
so it's gonna be fine.
I'm going to be
Well, you know,
so it doesn't matter.
April
first
Fool's Day
class.
when we drug him.
Like BA from A-Team.
And then he wakes up on a plane.
Is that what this is about?
Dun, dun, dun.
We're Vegas bound right after
Drops
this
to the
show.
wing.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well,
That's B.A. Baraka right there,
Yeah,
Boys and girls.
yeah.
who are you?
I was Josh.
I'm Hannibal? No.
No, I was thinking for the outro.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Oh,
I was... I was about to say Murdoch, but you had to be Murdoch. You're clearly Murdoch.
We all fear how to end this show. And on that note, I'm Josh.
I won.
and I am no longer drinking a beer.
I've had a few.
Take care and watch your back.